The fans are bouncing, the beer is flying, and status quo star Francis Rossi is doing what he has done for more than 50 years, rocking out. Bounding across the stage like a man half his age, he, and the crowd, clearly have just one thought: I like it, I like it, I really like it. But despite his buoyant performance, the rocker says he is super conscious of every one of his 73 years. "It's a shame I'm so old," he tells the Mirror in his dressing room before Monday's sold-out gig in the Dutch city of Tilburg. "The band are playing really well, and all enjoying each other's company. I wonder how far the band can grow, but then I remember, I'm 73. Francis is in a reflective mood, but any melancholy is soon cancelled out by his self-deprecating humor. "I'm very much aware of age because when I was growing up we would always laugh at someone in music who was 40. Now I'm in my 70s, my face is falling off, and when I stand under a lamp, my hair disappears." Looking lean and with more hair than me, which he is quick to point out with a cackle, Francis is doing himself a disservice. He goes to great lengths to keep Mother Nature at bay. "I swim every day, I work out every day, although I can't now because I bust my bicep overdoing the chin-ups," he says. He adds that a pre-diabetic diagnosis spurred him on. Now he swears by a brisk 10-minute walk after every meal, as well as a 1:30 p.m. nap. "Since then, my digestion is better, the cholesterol has dropped. Just from walking 10 minutes, he says. "If the production manager wants to talk to me, he has to walk alongside me, I'm not stopping. It's an obsession." Another obsession is the Times crossword to keep him mentally agile. It's always the concise one. You learn about language and derivatives of words and such. "It's really interesting," he says. For a man whose nasal septum fell out because of a raging cocaine habit, his love of puzzles, as well as smoothies and vitamin injections, is something of a change of pace. After the death of bandmate Rick Parfitt in 2016, and original bassist Alan Lancaster last year, it's no wonder Francis thinks about his own mortality. He says, "Death? Yeah. I've had pneumonia 3 times, and the last one was 2017. Fug. Have you ever been ill and you lie there at night sometimes and think you could die in your sleep now? That was it. I'm hoping there is a time that you just go, it's time to check out. And if it comes to a time of someone having to wipe my derriere, I'm going." Born in 1949 in southeast London, his family ran the Rossi's ice cream business. Francis had to choose between driving the van or sticking with music. He formed the Scorpions with pal Alan in 1962 while they were at school. Amid some name changes and the arrival of drummer John Coughlin, they were joined in 1967 by guitarist and singer Rick and hit on the name The Status Quo. After a big hit in 1968 with Francis' psychedelic song Pictures of Matchstick Men, they haven't looked back and have gone on to sell about 118 million records, as well as playing over 6,000 live shows to 25 million people. But such extraordinary success came at a price. In his autobiography, Francis admits to spending £25,000 a month in today's money on cocaine, which led to the breakdown of his first marriage. Rick died from sepsis aged 68 after a life of unbridled excess. Francis, who has 8 children and lives in Surrey with second wife Eileen after beating his addictions, describes how Rick was the best ever friend when I was a kid, but the two men drifted apart in later years. But even now, Francis still feels Rick's presence. I dreamed of him last night. I was supposed to be doing a vocal for a soundtrack on a movie. He said, "I think you should let me sing this." Well, that was Rick all over. Let me. Lead singer Francis was adamant Quo would not disband after Rick's death. The naysayers said they can't do it without Rick. Blah, 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 he says. And they may be right for all I know. But it just makes you dig in. Unlike today's pop stars who are often scared of their own shadow, Francis is not only captivating company but refreshingly honest. Sometimes, a bit too much. At least 3 times during our chat, he stops mid-sentence to say I'd better not print it or he'll get in trouble, often with family members, or fellow musicians. But, boy, does he deliver when he gets going. Take the row over musicians such as Robbie Williams playing in Qatar during the World Cup, despite the country's human rights record. Francis says, it's their laws, whether I agree with them is another matter. Whether Qatar was awarded the rights to host the World Cup, in a bent way or not, we're now going to say the rest of the world isn't bent? Including our own country and our own government? Robbie went and did that because they put a lot of zeros in front of him. It's very, very hard to not do it. He remembers a similar backlash in the 1980s over Quo performing at Sun City in South Africa during the apartheid era. They were all being effing hypocritical. We went there just after Queen and Tina Turner. We were ostracized. And don't get Francis started on the state of the industry today, not least the pit concerned from streaming services, and the impact of Brexit on touring budgets. If they were shagging us in the 60s, they're definitely shagging us now, he says. The Brexit thing means there's certain things we can't get budget-wise for the tours, for the buses, for the crews, for the trucks. We're getting shagged over everywhere. But, I still want to do it. After the show, I joined Quo members, bassist John Rhino Edwards, drummer Leon Cave and guitarist Richie Malone in the pub just yards from the venue. They are instantly mobbed by fans, old and young, who ask for selfies and bombard them with free drinks. There is a strict midnight curfew and at 11:50 p.m., their time is up and they dutifully head back to the tour bus, where they rejoin Francis, for an overnight dash to another European city. Down the years, the bus has sometimes been known to leave stragglers behind. Francis knows that rockin' all over the world, who can blame him? The Quoing In, the Best of the Naughties album is out now. The band tour the UK from November 25 to December 3.